Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to ESL 1. It's the championship of spring for Battlefield 4 2014, our second championship of the year, and we are moments away from finding out which one has been... What's got you now?
I can see the screen over there, and it took so long for it to actually see me.
To pan out because you're so tall. If you weren't 8'7", it wouldn't be so bad. Semi-finals are done. We've got what many people are calling the dream final, but only because of the fact that these two teams have met so often in the past. They've been great rivals. We know about the Epsilon switching into Fnatic and then Epsilon bringing on a new team as well. And then they've met through 3 finals of the 4 in our regular cups. Fnatic won the first one, Epsilon won the last 2. Offline, they've also then Epsilon have lost to Fnatic 3-1 as well. So there's lots of history between these two teams, lots of rivalry, and I think there's a little bit of niggle there as well.
I agree. I think even Pyrogen would have been a good matchup for them, just for obviously what happened last season. But the thing is, to me, the way they got here was completely different. It was a walk in the park for Fnatic. It was Epsilon struggling, like swimming through mud trying to get here. Is that an analogy?
Yeah, no, absolutely. We'll go for it, swimming through treacle, I think.
Through what?
Treacle.
Don't know that word.
Americans.
Is that British?
Brilliant.
Is that British?
I don't think so.
Okay, well anyways, but yeah, it's Epsilon. They struggle to get here. I mean, I'm looking at the past scores. Fnatic versus Dignitas, 96 tickets, 117. Epsilon, only once did they ever win with over, I think, 20 or 30. Actually, they won once over 40. That's how hard it was for them to get here.
Maths with Kaplan.
Oh, my mouth. Did you hear my stream earlier?
I did.
Yeah. That was fun.
Yeah. We'll gloss over that quickly. So yeah, I mean, you're absolutely right. There are 2 different routes to the final. Fnatic have been utterly flawless. I was discussing this with the Dignitas guys earlier because we were talking about, you know, they weren't that disappointed to lose. And when you're not that disappointed, it's usually because you got beaten by a better team on the day and there was nothing you could do about it. And that's exactly how they felt about it. They literally said, like, if you look at all of the skills that are required for Battlefield 4, you know, it's obviously the natural skill and shot and aim and what have you. That's a given. But then there's team play, tactics, strategy, mind, control, poise. There's all these different things, and there are no flaws in Fnatic whatsoever right now. So how do they get beaten?
You don't. I mean, maybe you have to have all those qualities as well. And I remember I was talking to the Dignitas guys outside as well, and they were saying, it was better to get beat here than on the finals, getting beat like that. And the thing is, Fnatic, have they been challenged yet? I mean, I personally don't think they have been, and I think this is going to be, I guess, their big challenge, but still at the same point, I don't know if it's even going to go past 3 games. Okay,
let's talk a little bit about Epsilon before we head off to the map veto. As you said rightly, they've had a torrid time, really, over the 2 days, but I guess credit to them, really, and we questioned their mental agility yesterday and their mental strength to try and, you know, get through these crashes and the things that happen to them, and it always seems to happen to them. They lost a mouse earlier on as well. And
I think out of the 5 crashes we've had, all 5 have been them.
They have been involved in them. And yet, through all of that, they've bounced back and they've made the final. So, do they take more? I guess what I'm saying is does that make them stronger now and they're actually more resilient? Or do you think that if Fnatic expose that frailty early in the match, does that actually send it one way only?
Well, it was something that Daubert said earlier. If you hit them hard enough, they'll shatter, just, you know, kind of just like glass. And I think the first disconnect that happened from the first crash, they ended up losing that series against Planet K Dynamics. I think that was something that kind of caught them off guard. Like, we didn't expect this to happen. It really affected them. But the other crashes didn't seem to do that. And they seemed to, kind of realize, okay, it could happen here. Let's just keep trying to play. Let's keep, looking past it. But Fnatic, I think if they get a good early start, I think it will just shatter Epsilon. I don't know if they can really band together, or if many teams at all can even really hold together that long to really come back.
Okay, we have got one more opportunity for you right now. If you have been voting all weekend, thank you for your votes. It's been a terrific competition. It's coming to an end. We still have 2 Razer goodies for you to win. The top 2 will win those. It's a headset and a mouse, and they're Battlefield 4 as well, so extra special for you. If you haven't voted already, go to esl-1.com, go to the BF4 page, click on schedule, and find the grand final and vote for your team, your favourite team. One of you could end up being top of the pile for the whole weekend. Jason, give them a clue. Is it Fnatic? Have they done enough to be absolute favourites here, or have Epsilon just got something a little bit about them?
I think if I looked at the map vote right now, or the vote right now, I think it would be about 95% Fnatic. So I don't think they need my help too much, because I'm gonna agree with them. Fnatic, I mean, you can't stop them right now, and they're not out for just winning. They're out for blood because of what's happened, like you said, in the season, and them fortunately not doing as well last season like they should have.
Okay, thank you very much, Jason. we will check in with Jason towards the end of the program. But ladies and gentlemen, we present to you the ESL 1 Spring Championship Grand Final. It's Fnatic versus Epsilon. It's not David versus Goliath. It's more like Goliath versus Goliath. But one of them's had a few fragile moments. The other one has been utterly dominant. Which one comes through, which one triumphs, and which one takes home the trophy? Let's find out with the map vetoes incoming right now with Lauren and Dogbert.
Thank you so much, guys, and we do have an incredible game on the way in just a moment's time. I think it's what we all kind of expected to see on paper, at least. Not probably by performance throughout this tournament, but, you know, coming into this, Fnatic in second, Epsilon in first. Epsilon struggling in the group stage before even getting here, and then having even a harder time once they did arrive. But Fnatic, I don't think they've even actually dropped a map yet.
Or around it, I think. They've been on fire. Goldman Railway seems to be the map that Fnatic do not want to let through at all. I think there's so much in the
There's a lot
map.
of risk.
There's a lot of risk, and I think Fnatic at this point just want to play a numbers game, and there you go, Dawnbreaker map, but they've done remarkably well with this cup, and Zaphod, there's the map that could cause some issues, and Parasol Storm going through there as well. Well, have a dominant display against Dignitas. I'm not surprised at all for Fnatic, and there's Locker for Epsilon, one that they've also done remarkably well with. So pretty solid picks from both teams, and the wildcard map really there is Shanghai comes in at the end. A map really which I think both teams are quite even on. So, you know, with that being said, it's if it gets that far, it will it'll be very interesting. But we've seen Fnatic do remarkably well on other people's map picks. We can't say the same so for Epsilon.
No, we certainly cannot. And the one thing I want to point out is I was talking to the Fnatic guys just before we got in here. And I was like, okay, you know, tell me your score. What do you think you're actually going to end up at? And it was actually too easy who I was talking to, the man on your screen right there. And he said, you know, maybe a 3-1, you know, I think we'll get it in the end or something along those lines. But if it comes to Locker, there's a chance we won't be able to get it. Even though that used to be one of Fnatic's strongest maps, with the introduction of the FAMAS in play, they don't have such a dominant reign anymore, I feel, and there is a slight threat to be had there, but by the time the Epsilon would get to that map, it could almost be game over by then. Yeah,
the FAMAS is the great equalizer when it comes to one-on-one sometimes, and the rate of fire and damage it produces is really limited some players and some teams' choices when it comes to kind of just rushing about the flags. And yeah, Fnatic, as I say, very much by the book sometimes, and you know, FAMAS can really cause some confusion and chaos. Something that Epsilon will need to use to their advantage if they want to take the first map against Fnatic, and this is a good map for them.
Yeah, it definitely is. And actually, we can talk about what people predict here. And do you think that's actually a good representation there? 69% to 31. Do you think that's fair towards what we might be seeing?
Yeah, I think that's 69-31 is about right. I mean, I'm sure. I've been betting with a few people about which team will get to the finals, and I'm very surprised by Epsilon getting this far, but I just didn't think their online performance would translate to LAN success, and finally it has.
Yeah, but it's not been pretty, though. You look at Fnatic's performance, for example, and it's been disgracefully good. You know, it's been that kind of untouchable genius, but Epsilon's has been scrappy. They've had to fight hard, and they haven't really had the simplest of ways, so I can kind of even it up in that aspect, but still, if you were Epsilon right now, how would you be walking into this? Because they've struggled against a lot lesser teams than we're seeing right now in front of us.
Well, you have two fears in a way, and my fear right now is maybe they're thinking, well, at least we've got to the final, and kind of thinking, well, as long as we don't get completely wiped, it will be all right. They need to have that will to win here. They are in the final. But I'm always worried of some teams thinking that, especially if it starts going against them. They need to channel their inner safe here for this one. He kept pushing MYM through thick and thin, and that's something which, you know, I hope to see coming out of Epsilon here. If they start to get disheartened, will they let themselves be rolled over?
We've been kind of bringing up that question a little bit throughout this, is, you know, how many upsets can they endure? How far can they be pushed until they break? And I think we'll finally get our answer in this one, if there is anyone who can kind of find a chink in the armor. But it's for me is how to overcome Fnatic when they've looked this good. How the hell do you deal with a team that's barely looked human throughout this tournament? Even if I was in a team, I wouldn't know what to say in this, because they look completely and utterly flawless. If let's say you were in a position that it was Dignitas in this spot right now, what would you say to them?
They got to be confident in themselves, especially in that team play, and they just got to go out and go for it. They got to just got to impose their will, and it sounds a simple thing to say, but so many teams just go out and play standard. They don't try and seek to dominate their opponents, and that's something they're going to need to do. I mean, they're playing against such a top and dangerous team, but the only way they can give themselves the leeway and confidence to move forward is to completely and utterly control the game from the get-go.
Well, see, the thing is, they're a team that can do it. They've done it how many times before? Have we seen, Epsilon and Fnatic in the finals throughout all the cups? Epsilon had been the team to get there. They'd been the team to look dominant. They'd been the team to look pretty much prolific throughout, looking near on flawless themselves. And Fnatic had real issues at times. Whether or not they were holding back a little bit and waiting for the finals to come around might have been the case, but at the moment they're looking near on unstoppable. So we're gonna have to wait and see if Epsilon can find a way through here, because I feel for Epsilon, because this is probably the toughest match they're gonna have in Battlefield for a long time coming.
Yes, definitely, and this is the first time for them to get to a big final like this. They've done the online stuff, but this is the first time for them, really, with this lineup, to get to the LAN. Yeah. And this is where the pressure is really on them. And
that man on your screen as well. He's a little bit of reputation towards him, Duke. There, he's got a lot to prove in this one.
A lot to prove.
He's been playing very well so far, though.
He has indeed. He's done very well, especially today, and with that, hopefully that translates into success today. Obviously, Fnatic, they've got some just all-round players that just can always perform well, and I'm really looking at Unfixed and Valutaja in this one to go huge. And you're always going to see Drunks and Too Easy doing well, but when they can drop off quite a lot. But Unfixed and Valutaja, so far today, I've been doing amazingly well.
Yeah, I am in the Valutaja fan club. I've had my monthly T-shirt come through and several pins. And I think that I'm going to resubscribe again for another 4 years, because right now he's been absolutely on point this tournament. Obviously I wasn't part of the last finals that came around, and I didn't get to see it firsthand, but I watched it back, and he didn't look that good, in complete honesty, in the game. He really didn't look as strong. He didn't have moments like this, but hopefully he can get himself together. Epsilon getting a little bit of a boost up then, because they're just about to get underway in a moment's time towards Dawnbreaker, which will be our first map. Now, what can we say about Fnatic and Epsilon on here that's not been said before?
Yeah, pretty much. This is one of the most played maps, especially in the first season and early on in Battlefield.
Yes.
And a map that both of these guys have played relentlessly. But you know what? I must say, I think Fnatic have been doing so much more better on this map recently. This is why it's their first pick. But like I'm saying, because it's been played so much, it's not like Epsilon don't feel comfortable here. We're going to play safe.
Well, Fnatic will be starting that Chinese side, so if there's anything up their sleeve, we'll be seeing it now. So, ladies and gents, we are 2 seconds away of getting underway in the grand final between Fnatic and Epsilon. Fnatic will be on that Chinese side, the US side will be Epsilon, and let's see what we have in store. 3-man stack going straight to B, now 4, obviously joined by the last man spawning in. We'll be clashing with Epsilon straight away, but look at the inner presence towards these buildings here from Epsilon. They're going for a little bit of a retake rather than a straight-out fight.
Yeah, and Epsilon expecting building pressure, got none. And Fnatic just trying to get an easy cap on B. Epsilon have had a great start.
Perfect, absolutely perfect.
Almost just completely wiped out. And it's only Unfixed who went back to get the safe flag, and then he nades himself. Brilliant from Unfixed there. Survives his own nade, but only just.
Yeah, this is Fnatic looking like they may not be just dragging the game with their hands to wherever they want it. So finally, we're seeing a team holding a 2-1 against them. It will be a BC hold for Epsilon on the US side, obviously. Playing quite far out of B, actually, not having anyone within the site, playing from further back. make them really have to work for these kills, and Duke's doing what Duke does best, getting kills on the board for his side. Unfixed, however, is up close and personal. Drunk's getting a couple of kills, but already a push happening towards the highway side and inner side of the building from Epsilon.
Yeah, definitely. Epsilon doing very well here, holding that BC, getting a few important side kills, and Fnatic a bit reeling here, but they're used to this. They like their slow pushing to be anyway. We'll have to see if that results in a flag capture right now, but Epsilon must be on a high, doing a lot of damage early on to Fnatic.
Yeah, Fnatic looked a little bit shocked here. They haven't had an easy ride. Finally get themselves back down towards B, but there are a couple of players in a position that could cause trouble. Horik being one of them, David being the other. Too Easy goes down. Horik goes for the peak, doesn't get it, but there's no easy way through here. But luckily, there's a smart man in the background. It's Value again, down on C, and it's going to force Epsilon to have to pick up B and then focus maybe towards pushing A or falling back towards C. They've got to make their minds up here.
Yeah, that AC is a very dangerous one to hold. Value charge again, that spawn, very helpful at that point. But you can just see that Epsilon now, the team coming forward and isolating the defenders of Fnatic outside of A.
Yeah, they are, and actually this could be a triple cap because Value did go down towards C, but obviously Drunks is there as well. But it's not a brilliant position, 2-1. C not really defended. Most of the focus from Fnatic coming in towards A, and it's not gone to plan at all. Drunks now the last man in a really decent position to do anything with it, helping his teammates to get back here towards that back spawn. They have to rebuild. 136 to 106. We're seeing an upset here. The team of Epsilon, who's struggled the whole way, actually looking rather damn good right now. So Marzu coming through, picking up a good couple of kills. Duke not too far behind either. And wow, what's happened to Fnatic here?
Maybe the fact they've just had so much success, it's kind of brainwashed them into being maybe a bit too aggressive at times. And definitely Epsilon are playing very strong right now. Duke going 8 for 2 already, and you know, say what you want about him, he's bringing in the kills. And finally Fnatic starting to get a bit more of a bleed, but they're precarious holds all the time.
Yeah, it's never the ideal setup. They're never well positioned to maintain it. You know, they've got one man on A, excuse me, and two kind of around C. They haven't really spawned in the rest because they don't really know where Epsilon are going to be kind of focusing towards.
Yeah, definitely. And with that B hold for Epsilon, that's really useful. And the upper balcony control, very key in holding that position. Also gives them a chance to push down onto C whenever they want. And right now, Unfixed is being the cornerstone for this team, keeping them alive, keeping them a place to spawn. And finally, maybe Fnatic, with Unfixed help, is going to be able to get this BC hold.
Maybe, but there's still someone standing in their way right there on the catwalk. It was Horik. He's gone down, though, so catwalk now open for the taking. B looking a little bit more vulnerable. Fnatic have claimed control for now, but here comes the push out. David and Duke fall, so Morton and Unfixed have maintained. First time in a while, the Fnatic haven't just fallen to the opponents.
Yeah, definitely. And Unfixed picking up more kills. He is so important for this team right now. He's the anchor, but it's keeping them from being shipwrecked. And this is just really good work for Epsilon. For Fnatic. They were up against it, and now look at the score. They've started to even it up.
Yeah, 99 to 86, as you pointed out, a lot closer than it was before. Fnatic regaining control, finding their footing, mostly down to the man who just got taken out by Horik. B now looking slightly more vulnerable, and a little bit of a peek coming from Horik, gets denied in the end, but the rest of Epsilon moving in for the kill, and no one from Fnatic is ready for a counter move. They must try and get this one back or play for the retake. Value does find a kill here and there. Nades coming out from Too Easy. They're trying to forge a path. Duke denies. Nice hold through the buildings. And Fnatic are really struggling here. This is a shadow of what they were performing like just a couple of moments ago.
Yeah, and this might be the problem that they have, is because they've had such good success, they haven't been tested yet, and maybe they haven't got the endurance. We know that Epsilon have already gone through so many trials and tribulations over the last 2 days, and maybe that gives them a bit of a sharper edge right now. But that was almost a full wipe at B. That is a full wipe. Only Unfixed once again, the last guy remaining. And look at this, Epsilon going for a trip cap.
And they might just get it. It's down to a 1v2 on C. This is the harder battle to maintain for Epsilon. Horik will be taken down, so a small ray of light for Fnatic, but nothing too comfortable, and no smart pushes round to the back of A from Mort. It's just funnel back into B and try and do what we can, and it's not working at all. Fnatic are getting caught up and taken down. The 2-1 looks far more manageable in the hands of Epsilon here than it was in Fnatic's, but here comes Unfixed, here comes Value, and they have opened up towards that B site. They've taken down enough players, but can they find a last couple of members? It's Marzu standing here. He's going to be on B. He's got David, spawning in towards C down there, but it's a little bit of a sloppy one coming out now, and already Asterix considering trying to defend the A flag here.
Yeah, and this is going to be an interesting one. If Drunks here can just delay this push as long as possible out at C. That is a 3-man wipe from Epsilon, and that is going to be a trip cap coming in. Trip cap city for Fnatic.
Perfectly done by them. Every single battle on every single flag went into their favor, but as you said, hit and miss performance so far. Moments of brilliance and moments of what just happened, but Valu's back in the action with a nice triple grenade coming out there, taking down 3 members of Epsilon, and A managing to stay in their hands. Valu not done with 3, he wanted 4 and he got it. That's Marzu out of there as well. The 3 cap, the triple cap is being held right now, and that's a hell of a lot of tickets just going into the hands of Fnatic. But look at this, Valu surrounded players coming in from that highway side from Epsilon, get themselves in on the A flag and trying to take away some of the lead that Fnatic are carving out for themselves from a rather dire start.
Yeah, definitely, and Too Easy bought so much time holding down 3 players outside of A. Morty's still alive, but I'm not sure for how long. I was going to say he was going to die quite quickly, but there you go. They took 2 out for nothing. And, you know, this is just... Even if Epsilon get this A flag cleared out, the bleed is still against them, and they are starting to lose on tickets drastically.
Yeah, Fnatic, oh, wow, Too Easy. 3-man from him, finally getting tagged up, almost taken down, but managing to stay alive, finally shut down by the grenade coming out from Duke. But while all of this is happening, Fnatic have just been loving the way that scoreboard is starting to read, but this could be a 2-1 in favour to Epsilon, but no, it's going to be Fnatic Valu taking over on A just for a second, allowing the rest of Fnatic to muster themselves together to get back on towards B. Too Easy still doing work, but going down eventually is given a good opportunity on B, and this could be another triple kill.
Yeah, because Epsilon just left that A flag without even capturing it. They just walked off thinking too quickly and without just going for the safe flags, and that is going to bite them in the ass.
And it really is. 59 tickets now to 19. Not looking so good for Epsilon after such a brilliant start. We were questioning the staying power of Fnatic, and right now I'm going to be questioning Epsilon with it. They're dropping it in one map. 2-1 currently. Valu dodging between these bullets on B. But one man trying to go on a little bit of a singular mission here. David trying to find the weak side. He's taken down Drunks. Drunks falls. C is open, but not for long. Well played to Too Easy to come back and support. And now 9 tickets remain. Fnatic somehow pulling themselves back together here after such a dire start to get a beautifully well-positioned lead. If they can lock down this B flag for the final push going out from Epsilon, 2 tickets left towards the Epsilon side. Massive lead in the hands of Fnatic. It's going to be around the 50s. 56 tickets, and after a start like they had, they've got to be a little bit relieved coming away with that much.
Oh, definitely knew that was the first time they've really been put up against it, and they came out on top, and not just a little bit on top, quite a bit. That's 56 tickets in a 150 ticket game, so there you go. They're doing very well there, and Too Easy maybe picked up the kills at the end there, and so did Valutaja at the top, but let's get it straight. Unfixed kept them going.
Oh, at the start of the game,
most dangerous part.
Yeah, when they had nothing, when the game was literally being taken away from them moment by moment, Unfixed was the only one to be getting any kills, doing anything of worth, and until he did that, I thought Fnatic were going to be losing out on this first map here.
Definitely, if Unfixed hadn't played smart and true, that might have been a significant loss to Fnatic, but his great play and smartness, it really worked out well for them.
Yeah, and hopefully on the next half I'm going to try and get in on their team speak, see exactly how this one's going down for them. And see who's kind of focused up where and who's doing what, because the mentality of these teams is so important as well, and that's what I'm going to be focusing on here, because now Epsilon have seen that Fnatic, they're human. They almost kind of tripped up then, they almost made a mistake, and now they have to find that chink in the armor again and exploit it more, but now with a ticket deficit.
Yeah, it's going to be a difficult one for Epsilon. They need to do what they can. They need to get. They need to read Fnatic's opening here. That's what they need to do. They need to read this opening well, position themselves in a good position to get that initial bleed, or go for a wipe on Fnatic. They need complete control from the get-go, and that'll happen by having a good idea on how Fnatic start. And usually Fnatic have gone for slow pushes in the past, but they just go through those buildings and keep control of B from afar. One guy on the flag, usually, and everyone giving them supporting fire. I'll be interested to see if Epsilon try anything to outstrike that.
Well, interesting start, going for the engineer class rather than just the grenades there, and we are seeing the initial fire coming through. Epsilon going for a bit of presence through the buildings here, and actually going to be met with a bit of force. Too Easy comes round to the challenge. He knows there's another hit. Oh, the support comes through from Asterix though, and they do manage to kind of start that challenge off rather nicely, but only walking away with one flag right now, a little bit late to the punch, but they've got a good couple of kills. Yes,
they have indeed, and Epsilon, you know, it could be a bit better for them, but I don't know, it's a really difficult one. Fnatic are just always going for that BC when they can and harassing that A flag, and you know, you're seeing that now. It's shut down by Epsilon, but how many people did they send to that flag to do it?
They committed so many just to maintain that 1 point. A little bit of an interesting decision he made there, really, and the whole team made, and I'm not sure how I'm liking this. Epsilon look a little bit static in their ways. They look near on fully set up for the B flag, but they don't even have it. They have A. They're playing almost scared of Fnatic now, which is not what you want to be doing. Look at the ticket lead they already have here, 148 to 126, and there's already that 56 ticket deficit. That's huge. They need to find their way back in here. And well, it looks like Fnatic happily to stand in their way and find these kills. Good couple of members of Epsilon. Oh my word, look at that. It's a team kill nade. What on earth just happened? Epsilon just gave away the B flag pretty much.
Yeah, and I think this is the pressure really starting to get at Epsilon. Now they kind of know that this is really going to be a hard-fought game, and I'm not sure if they can take it.
I think we need to tune in and see exactly what's going down with these guys right now.
We have to cover each other more and faster.
We have to get the catwalk.
Yeah, but we can get the flag easily before.
Small start still.
Behind me, Link. Cover me. Just
push.
One here.
Well, they're trying to talk things through there. You can hear it. They're trying to call out the mistakes they're making midway through the game, but is it too late almost to be doing this?
No, not at all, but really not the best times to be doing it at all. Leave it for another time. Don't bring it up in-game, and that's classic comms for you. But Epsilon pushing that B flag. They might get... Oh, there you go. There's the crossfire I talk about from Fnatic. They defend those flags from afar, and they keep catching Epsilon out whenever they try and get that flag.
Yeah, and Valu, he created the crossfire, denied B, played smart, knew how many he had committed there by all the spots and the information the rest of the team had got. Time to move in on A. And it's near on a triple cap here. This is the Fnatic I expected to see on the first half, who weren't quite here. And, well... You gotta feel bad for Epsilon right now. They are struggling. Even Valu not even moving, really, just trying to avoid the nades as best he could. But he's done the damage, but actually B, in the meantime, did get taken over by Epsilon, so maybe not down yet, but those tickets aren't looking great.
No, not at all, and they need to be very careful round about now. They need a very strong and firm hold. They cannot give away deaths, let alone a flag. And if they do lose a flag at this point in the game and lead that bleed to flick over to Fnatic, I don't see how they can salvage this round or map.
Well, let's find out. We have a 2-1 hold finally in their favor. A-B setup, quite ideal. But Fnatic do have that catwalk, which is slightly unnerving, really, because that means B's pretty much surrounded here. Horek gets found, gets destroyed by the grenade coming through, and B's being captured. You can see them near on negating the presence that Epsilon have there within the buildings. Just have to avoid those nades somehow, and it looks like B's going to be taken back over. C left vulnerable, though. Could cause an issue here, and it could mean that Fnatic get thrown out of another kind of position they may want to be in.
Yeah, but every time that they feel safe on a flag, they just seem to get surrounded by Fnatic. Look at that. Drunks and Unfixer coming in, making it a 1-on-2 with Asterix left, and he goes down, and there you go. The hopes on C just squashed like that. And even when they are making their alternative push onto B, they're already outnumbered. It's this insane teamwork from Fnatic.
Fnatic getting everything working perfectly. Let's have a quick listen before the game's over.
On the pickup still.
Tetris one.
Think junk to C. I don't see any upper C yet. Upper C is still clear so far.
B. One more on B. And that's Tetris.
Low, very low.
Tetris dead.
Nice.
Spawning still. Go A.
Now seconds away. You can hear them getting pumped up as well. That's the first time I've actually seen Fnatic showing any sort of emotion. It's been this stoic approach throughout, but right now you can hear those calls coming through as fast as lightning. As Epsilon left with only A to hand, 61 tickets to 56. It's not looking good. This is pretty much their final big push if they want to make it right now. It's going to be from A probably down to B, but look at this. Too easy round the back. He could be causing trouble. He's found Horek already. He's moving in for the kill. Last couple of tickets, the moment that Epsilon could have done something with. Too easy just rubs it in their face and says, not today. And Fnatic claim the first map. After a shaky start, they just nail it down in the second.
Yeah, definitely. And you got to say, man of the match of this one is going to have man of this map at least, unfixed. Obviously, maybe not coming out so big in the next round, but he's
working
on
the first
round. Jesus. That was the most important and most dangerous situation I've seen Fnatic in this entire tournament.
Well, for a long time. Yeah.
Well, yeah. Online, they have suffered quite embarrassing defeats at times.
I feel they take it too lightly, though. I feel that we haven't seen Fnatic ever being this serious about it.
I never believe when Too Easy talks to you and he says, "Oh yeah, we just weren't taking it seriously." I don't meet many gamers who play against their opponents on a regular basis that, yeah, you know, we just didn't take it seriously.
All right, let's also take into account, though, I asked for Too Easy for a quote, and he said easy bash for the entire tournament so far.
All the time, bro.
Look, I'm not doubting him right now, and they've had this run.
Last time, and he started crying after they lost, so, you know.
Way to bring it up, all right, way to bring it up.
I had to bring it up at least once on final. No, he wasn't crying, he was just really upset.
His eyes just watered a little.
A little, yeah. With joy for the fact
something
that
just must have got in his eye.
beat him.
Yeah, that's it. It's good camaraderie there.
But no, he talks a lot like that, so you know.
It's too easy.
Yeah, it's too easy to have a dig. But Valitage has been doing really well this tournament. Like you said, he didn't do well in the last one. He's really stepped it up in this one. He's really getting in some very important one-on-ones.
Oh, he's the man you want doing them. In my opinion, at least, he's the guy that I trust to have to handle. You can see him there on your screen, and he's a man probably with the most experience on this side, especially within these sort of atmospheres from back in God knows how long ago.
That's this tournament. There's no one here. It's
no one near
probably
that,
got as much experience as him.
No, not in offline events, I wouldn't say. And I think since the likes of 2005, if not sooner, he'd been certainly competing at the very top, and it gives you an edge. It really, really does in these sort of aspects. So right now, second map coming up, okay? That's what we need to kind of keep in mind here. First, it's gone Fnatic's way to a fairly dramatic extent. Second map being Zavod. Do you think Epsilon will fall and crumble that hard here?
This is the map that they lost out on last time against Pyrogen. It is possible. They don't like to play this map very often. I think they feel that it's kind of messy at times, and obviously the FAMAS gets used quite a bit, but they're confident enough not to ban it straight out. It's a lesser of two evils, I feel. This map, though, does revolve around the C flag quite a bit. The amount of times we've seen mass amounts of the graveyard of some teams' hopes and
more. So now a couple of seconds away from the second map here. Epsilon will be on that US side, the Russian side being Fnatic, and I don't actually see any engineers. Interesting beginning, not going for the usual start. Not sure if they're actually live actually.
No,
I think they might
live.
be going not live actually. I just saw the end of that. So we will be restarting for a second, so we can go out of game, unless you want to stare at Duke having a little warm-up moment. Just testing out everything. But yeah, obviously I think they're waiting on water was the thing they were actually waiting on. They hadn't received their beverages yet. So once that arrives, I'm sure we'll be underway. But what are your predictions for this one?
I'm sticking firm with my pick in Fnatic. I really just feel that they've got an edge right now.
So you believe it's going to be a 2-0 after this map?
Yeah. I think they're going to go straight through, and it's not going to be... It's going to be close at first, but I think they're going to take it away at some point. Okay. I think that's just how Fnatic are. It can sometimes look really, really close. Then they start to get their control sorted, and then they just kind of run away with it. Especially when they get a trip cap. I've never seen a team that goes for trip caps as much as Fnatic.
And pulls them off as well. That's the thing.
It's the how long they hold them for. It surprises me. Not how many of them they get. Because really, they don't get that many. But it's how many they hold for an extended period of time. And not many teams get to do that.
Yeah, and it's interesting to watch how confident they clearly must be feeling at the moment. They've been talking things through for quite some time now. Hopefully we'll be live in any second now. The restart's just coming through, so we're jumping into game. You can see the last couple of words being discussed between the guys. Too Easy on the far left, Valu to his right, the man who was playing not too badly, let's say, in the final. He finally got into form, but you can see Epsilon on your screens there just obviously doing the same themselves. Last couple of words being said.
Social media, obviously.
Yeah, a little bit of tweeting. Obviously, you guys at home, get involved. Get your predictions through to us. Obviously, keep them coming right now. You may not be able to win prizes, but you get my love, which is probably not worth that much. But we'll pretend it is. Anyway, we are moments away now. Teams are ready. Water has arrived, whether it be, you know, too easy as tears or not. We'll be going into this one in any second now. And as I said, the US side will be Fnatic. The Russian side will be Epsilon. And you're saying Fnatic are going to win this? Yep, they start on the stronger side here. I'll be interested to see what their break is. Usually a BC is on the cards for Fnatic, but maybe they want to switch it up and try A. Epsilon's point of view, probably want to go for that BCA, but then again, they broke open with Horrocks pressure into C, and that caught everyone off guard. So right now, they might try and do that again. Well, Fnatic are going for a 3-man A push. One actually in mid, staying there. 2 going through towards the side itself. And there's only 1 man of the opposition ready to challenge. So David's now in a world of trouble. He's picked up 1. He goes for second. He gets the second. Perfect play from David, denying the A push. And now Unfixed has to deal with him as well. And this could be a triple cap for Epsilon straight away. Yeah, wow. Too Easy goes down, but the Swans are still nearby. Fnatic, Trunks, Moore, and Unfixed, and Valutage. The entire team, the party is here, and once again, C is going to be littered with corpses. Yeah, as you said, the graveyard for some teams, but it seems that Fnatic are staying alive for now. First couple of nades come through, but actually they didn't expect Horek down there, who takes down Valutage, but Drunks get their revives up, and there we go. Fnatic slowly but surely maintain and kind of regain what they started with. Too Easy with a smart beginning here to get himself over towards A to try and maybe take away some of the control and the ticket lead the Epsilon decides to carve out. Yeah, Too Easy going for that A as quick as he can. Yep. And you can already see Fnatic are putting a lot of effort into holding this C flag. Yeah, they really are, and it's Horek pushing him forward first. He's going to get the exchange, I believe, with more, but there are a couple more players for Fnatic lingering around up top. Valu being one of them, finding the kills here, moving in, and probably trying to secure this side, but he's going to come around the back of 1. He gets 1 down, but he's going to be pushed in the back by Duke. The revive comes through for Epsilon. It's a scrappy game, this one. Not many tickets between them, but right now BC is in the hands of Epsilon, so they have the better setup here. But where Fnatic pushing, it's towards C as well, so not over yet, and Fnatic trying to make this one hurt. Yeah, Marsu holding down the B flag, and he'll have a Too Easy problem soon. But he'll have more than that, because Too Easy is the only guy left in the game for Fnatic. That's going to mean a large amount of people spawning. Oh, well, Too Easy went down from Marsu, but Marsu gets killed by Drunks, because Drunks spawned right under the pipes behind B. That is an amazing spawn for Fnatic. Yeah, and I don't see that one coming up very often. As well. Yeah, I don't see that one coming up too often and being well, used so well, because already seeing A and B both being fought over. Valu, Too Easy and Co challenging out on B. Asterix got spotted, but still it's Marzu coming in from the left side flank. He's going to get the kill, but can he find any more? It's actually Horek there. Marzu and Duke doing the job as well. Revives coming through, and this could be another trip cap if this 1v1 goes Epsilon's way. And Fnatic once again off to a shaky start here. What's going on with these beginnings? Well, they're fighting fire with fire. At no point are they trying to try anything fancy. They are fighting basically 4v4 constantly with Epsilon, and so far Epsilon have come out better almost every time. I think we should listen into Epsilon, considering they're currently quite drastically in the lead.
Middle, I'm almost down.
From middle, mid machines.
Don't push them.
Whoa, we didn't die. No, I don't need.
1B, he's low.
16 HP, B gate.
I need help.
And 2 big flag at least.
I'm dead.
This timing. He's pushing tunnel to C.
Okay, I'm behind C. Main gate.
Yeah?
Queen time.
Go jungle.
Oh, come on, Marcel.
Above white container.
More. 2, 3 and B.
1 more spawn, it's 3 on C.
2 dead, all run dead.
One more.
Jump down. Dead.
Nice!
B.
Main gate.
2B.
He's already in the flag.
Inside the flag, inside
Nice.
downstairs. Nice.
Maybe one more, I heard spawns. Maybe
You have to go
We have to go in, we have to go in.
Go B.
Okay.
We have time. We are listening.
At least 2B.
Yeah, C spawn again.
You go back to C.
Go away.
Don't follow me.
With Orek. Go Orek.
Oh.
Don't worry,
Spawn in mid again. Shh. They're mid machines. 2 mid machines at least.
1 E flag.
So, even though they are in the lead, we have seen a trip cap almost get made there for Fnatic. They were very close to turn that one around, and Epsilon having to kind of think some of the things they're going for here, as they're only left with C, and Fnatic have had to adapt. Maybe it's not picking this one up, even though it clearly is the site they want.
Yeah, and Epsilon here kind of spawning in on top of each other, which means they're easy bait for anyone coming in from behind, and that's just what happened. And Fnatic once again overtake them at C, and here you go. That A flag really has been ignored heavily by Epsilon, and that push on B took forever to come off, and once again the bleed's against them.
Yeah, it is. Fnatic warming up here, waking up a little bit more, and finally getting the job done, but it's not a simple game this time, Fnatic. They're struggling a little bit. 89 to 83. Mort finally coming in there, gets the kill, but Duke's taking down his teammates, and it's going to be back in the hands of Epsilon. These sites are changing in obscene speed right now. It's so hard to keep track, but the best way to look at it is Epsilon have 3 of them. So what a turn of events. Fnatic now need to somehow get themselves back in here and actually maintain control rather than losing it immediately.
Yeah, Horik goes down. That leaves that A flag wide open, and already Fnatic are not even thinking of just capping A quickly. They're going out on the offensive, but they're getting stalled in the center of the map, and this is Epsilon time to extend the lead here.
It really does. Duke doing the perfect work here, buying time, getting kills, getting in their faces and being aggressive. Too easy, however, got himself in a great position around the back here. He can wait for some respawns, play a little safer, but goes for the kill in mid, takes down one, gets the respawn, and it might be time to start the attack because those tickets are getting low, and it's allowing Horek to do the job he loves, getting around the back of them. And this could be the first map we've seen Fnatic struggling on, unless something changes right here, right now. Unfixed running with the AEK this time, so switching up a little bit. And let's see what they can do. Good spawn for Fnatic. They might be able to get back on towards A here.
Yeah, definitely. And obviously Horek thinking maybe moving forward to C. They're pinging it already. Happy to see Asterix deciding to pull back and defend B. Obviously a good call on comms on that. And right now, yeah, they're pushing for that C flag again. They know A's getting pushed over, so they need to do something quick.
Well, Fnatic don't have the numbers here. Drunks just went down. Now it's just Unfixed. He saved the day before. Don't tell me he can do it again. He took down 2. He gave it all he could. He finally falls, and Fnatic a little bit slow on the rotates here. They're not playing the game that I expected. I think we need to hear from the guys right now as to what's going on.
Down one, low C.
It's coming inside.
One to the down.
Guys, come on, come back.
On the right side, come on.
Dead. Up,
Medic.
I will. Go back to A.
They spawn A for sure. 2B.
Tunnel, upper B, middle.
One more on B. Spotted, Asterix.
Losing A.
One dead A.
Yes. Okay, nice. There's still a Horek on the A.
Asterix sitting on B.
Side gate.
2 on B, I think.
Platform, going platform 1.
You go back to C as well. One dead.
Down platform down.
Back of A.
Get him down, he's pushing.
Strong, broken.
I got A.
guys.
Side gates, I think. Take care, side gates and stuff.
Go back to C, someone.
Come on, we need more tickets, way more tickets.
Machine is low.
Down.
Hold C.
Go C.
3 on B, guys. You need to defend C fast.
Someone go jungle.
One going
Wait,
jungle.
don't. Side gate. You're gonna get A.
One jungle.
A back, guys.
One was jungle. Now. I'm gonna help A.
Down a gate. Take a side gate and stuff.
One down C.
You need to go B.
They're coming C.
Let's help these 4 ones.
Lower C one.
B guy dead. I'm getting B. I got B.
Duke a C.
One low. Upper, very low. No.
Yes.
One more.
I got B.
Upper C.
Upper C, yeah.
I'm low, guys. Upper C.
We got B. Doesn't matter. We
Follow me. I got
don't lose A. Get middle.
Where is he?
Revive.
We need to go middle.
I got C guy.
Fast and frantic calls, maybe equaling that triple cap right now, and this game's certainly on right now.
Yeah, definitely. That might have been what Fnatic needed. And it was a long, protracted fight at C, but eventually went their way. And with that, possibly even the round, with this this BC hold, the strongest in the game by far on this map. And right now, Epsilon are kind of coming in just loose and crazy, and they're getting cut up for it.
You don't need to give Fnatic any help right now. You had the perfect start. Epsilon, why are you letting these guys get back into this? You heard them screaming, we need more tickets, and you're giving them the chance to maintain a good lead here. not what you want to be seeing, and now Epsilon have to make a push. Otherwise, they're going to be in dire straits when it comes to the next map, if they make it in any sort of decent state. So right now, Epsilon trying to make their push towards C. Nades come out, too easy, and Mort finding the kills. 24-28, this game is going to heat up any second now. Marzu and Duke eyeing up their options. Marzu's found Valu chipping away at the armor around this C side. Duke finds one, but gets shut down in the back. The battle carries on. Too easy pushes through, has to back away, try and get some health back, and it's time to pick your battles, Fnatic, because you don't want to lose this one.
Yeah, definitely 15-26 tickets. David 2K versus Unfixed at A. This is going to be a critical exchange here, and a one that Epsilon need to win drastically, and it's just going to come down to this one.
Pretty much this 1v1 could define it. B and C also up for grabs. Now, at the moment, they're going retrospectively, but Unfixed now has to win this one. He wants to get this in the bag for his side. 11 tickets for Epsilon. He's found the kill. David's down, and that's only 9 tickets. And this 2-1 hold surely will be enough for Fnatic to maintain a solid lead. Maybe not what we expected, but certainly at the start, Epsilon looking brilliant, but crumbling under the weight of Fnatic there towards the end.
Yeah, and it was the projected fights that, to be honest, had been going against Fnatic. Finally, they got one big one at the end, and with that, the AC hold, the BC hold, which is the best. And with that, they just bled those tickets out.
Oh, from the beginning, you thought, okay, Epsilon doing well, all right. Got C, that's good. Okay, they've got a trip cap. What the hell's going on here? And then suddenly, they're quite drastically ahead of Fnatic, and Fnatic, you heard them. They wanted tickets desperately, but they just weren't finding them anywhere. They could not break C. If they got it for a second, they lost it. I don't know what finally got them through there, but it might have been too easy sitting on 22-10. Probably did help, but
Unfixed as well.
Another brilliant map from him.
They were calling spawns on him a lot of the time, but you know, Drunk sitting on a 14 for 14. Pretty rare to see him not come out above positive. Not very impressed with his performance this cup. He's
not to his normal standard.
No, not
at all. Drunks is that wild card. He's, the Duke almost of Epsilon, who's normally sitting on these ridiculous high kills, and that's the guy everyone wants to get down. But he's been okay. He's not underperformed, I don't think, to any other player's standard, but to his own standard, it's been a little bit quiet.
Yeah, definitely.
Maybe he's leaving it to the likes of Too Easy, Valu, Unfixed, whoever else may be to step up, but that's his role. I don't know if he's fallen back into the Winghaven mentality of I have to be the safety player at times. I have to be the one playing these more safe roles that win us the games overall, rather than the flashy moments. But I feel it's limiting his potential here, and he's not making the impact we've seen him do before.
Yeah, definitely. And I think that's probably Fnatic imposing a playstyle upon their team. Everyone wants to know exactly what they're doing at the same time, and it's working well for them right now. And, Epsilon once again find themselves on the back foot.
And who'd have thought it after that brilliant start they pulled out of the bag there. So now seconds away of getting ourselves into the second map here. Obviously, this being a best of 5, it won't be over so quickly. Or at least we hope. And, this time around, actually more running with that engineer class. So interesting to see how he's going to work with this one, actually. Standard gun, but where is that going to be used? Actually taking down some of the cover in mid, allowing his teammates probably to get a little glimpse through in case anyone was pushing forward. Another wall gone. They're blasting a path near on Dignitas style right now, but is it going to work out? Drunk's in a 1v1 up on B. He's not really done too good so far. He's got the first, though, on there. Comes back around for the second. You can see that AEK clipping the heels of Duke there, but Too Easy will claim it in the end, and now down to a 1v1 over towards A. One over by Fnatic in the end, and they're in a good position possibly to take C right now.
Yeah, very true. And right now you can just see Mort spawning in the last second. He's the last guy alive to see, and he's making them work for it. But spawning on top of your friend in the middle of a firefight is definitely a good way to get instantly spotted and instantly tagged. And yeah, that was a quick death for him.
Yeah, it certainly was. So interesting position for Fnatic, staying out in mid during just literally amongst the rubble, waiting probably for a counter push across mid, surround the opponents and just enjoy the advantage they have at the moment. This is all they need to do, just keep getting the kills in the bag, keep playing smart, and they're doing quite rather well at it. So just playing careful, but it's paying off. But you can see sneakily around the side, Epsilon have got a couple of players getting themselves over towards that B flag, and it might start hurting Fnatic here as we are seeing the kills coming through. Unfixed has fallen, as has Drunks. Too Easy follows suit. C is maintained, and B's left looking very vulnerable, but Epsilon's going to get the 2-1.
Yep, and it's the best hold here, and if they get mutually supporting flags, and that's why it's so useful to have. But also leaves up the overwhelming pressure just being thrown in there. And once again, it looks like Fnatic are just going to throw as many as they can at a C flag.
No surprise, they do want this one. Value did get caught there in the underpass. Asterix still locking this down with Duke. One player coming in from above. You can see the nades are raining in. Unfix did find Duke in the end. And here comes the push coming in from Fnatic, making their way down towards C. The site they've desperately wanted for the entire time. They've claimed it in one swift move as just David and Marzu are left up. And David going on the long road round towards A. Marzu trying to hold on towards B. But I've got to say, this time around, Fnatic looking a little bit more together here.
Yeah, definitely. It does seem like it might be their map now. And it's just quick rotations and just good all-round team play. When they do break into C, they do it in decisive style. They take out 3 to 4 people, and they do it so quick there's no chance for any counter respawns.
Well, let's tune into Epsilon and see how they're feeling about this right now.
They're pushing me. Okay, at best.
Yellow container or white container.
Top middle, top middle.
One mid machines.
Guys, these pushes, we have to kill them first before trying to...
Yeah, we have a. Relax, spawn
There's only one inside.
Spawn Horets, respawn B. Already mid machines.
I'm going jungle. I'm gonna meet this guy.
We're gonna rush C from B.
Horets, go outside, go outside.
One jungle, spotted. And one train. Down.
Nice.
I go next to C. 1 HP jungle.
He's going back to C. Jungle went back.
Okay.
B.
They rush me. Come on. These doors are basing me.
Corner on my body, too easy.
Wait, Asterix, don't. He's gonna nade you again.
See that? One.
Yeah, he got me from behind. From
We're gonna rush you.
Underground. Got underground.
Look tunnel. No, look, yeah.
Not as clear-cut as I'd expect there actually on the side of Epsilon with the calls there, but it's paying off them. They have the 2-1 for now, but it's being very swiftly turned around to possibly a triple cap as Duke read it very well out on towards B and got himself out here on his own.
Yeah, and plays like that are going to be key, but Fnatic's response is to send 2 out there, and man, because they just keep bouncing between the B and the C, they're able to always overwhelm at the best time. And Epsilon here, that's a squad wipe, and this is not looking good at all for Epsilon.
Yeah, they're struggling now. Right out by A, they've got the furthest away spawn. Great if you want to get the A flag, not ideal if you want to get anywhere towards B or C. As you said, the complementary setup that can pretty much supplement each other with the perfect positioning and very swift crossing. And you're seeing that already. Epsilon are going to struggle to make it through, but they've committed 3 players here, and David being one of them takes down Marzu because he felt he wasn't enough of a challenge with backup there, but they do find the kill towards Toeezy, so B is open for the taking now. They should be able to claim this, and only really Unfix is there from Fnatic. So 100 to 80, it's not a gigantic lead for Fnatic right now, but you know, Epsilon don't seem as potent as they did last time.
No, not at all. And I'm starting to think maybe they're getting a bit worried here. Maybe they're starting to just slow down. And once again, Asterix, the last guy remaining for Epsilon, they're going to go random spawns, and they're getting kind of punished for it. These are far, far away, and Epsilon here are going to face a possible trip cap from Fnatic.
Yeah, they certainly are. Valu finding the kills, Drunks as well. Only 2 players left standing for Epsilon, right in the middle of the action. The last place you want to be with a triple cap against you. You're literally surrounded by every single player there, and they barely had a glimpse towards one of these sites, and there's still a couple of players around by A, but they've left C wide open. Fnatic didn't fancy keeping that one apparently, and now there's 2 to 3 players coming in for Epsilon towards this, and now Fnatic needs to get themselves back here somehow. Valu's been caught in the heels, he needs to back away. Nade's going to follow up as well. Not looking too good for these guys. And Fnatic, they're making silly mistakes on occasion. They're still holding the advantage, don't get me wrong, but Valu just taking a stand and taking down as many kills as he possibly could do. But still, giving up C like that, mistake or planned?
I got a feeling like they're planned now. I don't know if you've seen, but Moore is just staying there. They're not leaving. They're just trying to let this bleed do all the work for them right now and forcing Epsilon to play a very risky and aggressive style. Okay, yes, Fnatic giving away a flag. Really, they shouldn't, but they're making the best of a bad decision, and it's working out well, okay?
Well, let's find out if that's actually what we might be able to hear from their comms coming in.
He's the corner for sure. Yeah, corner. I will go around from the machines. I will make get him.
Low C, low.
And left side, guys.
Pointing at C. Check A machines.
Side down.
Mark's on tank.
Yeah, he got me. But side gate is down. You can push it, I think. Left side, I think.
Low, low, low.
One down, one more. Upper mid, secret or something.
There's two. One above, one low.
Above.
Come on.
One dead,
push. Nice. Still Masu upper. You might run down.
Two up.
Take it slow, again.
Go big fast. There's a lot of C spawning as well.
Are we going? Go with the rest.
Certainly not any calmer over on the Fnatic side. Very, very fast. Making sure they're getting this done because already, you know, you don't want to give Epsilon a chance here. Yes, they're fairly long. I think it's 19 to 37. If they get below 19, obviously they will lose out on the second map and get very close to walking away in a little bit of a terrible situation. But Epsilon, you know, Fnatic let it slip a little bit there on C and then it kind of spiraled out from control and there could be a triple cap against them. But thankfully for Fnatic, they found A pretty fast.
Yeah, that was close in a way, but the spawns for Fnatic were very close to A. That shut down that pressure there. And once again, everyone's funneling into C, and it goes Epsilon's way. But it will come down to another 1v1, and it's going to be Unfixed versus David. And then more people spawn in. And all of a sudden, Epsilon are going to have to go on the offensive here. Leaving out on A, and then trying to fight a well-dug-in Fnatic at B.
Well, let's see if Fnatic can get back fast enough towards A. Drunks will be the first man on the scene, actually dropping down the AEK we saw him running with and picking up the ace in its place, but that's, the Famous in its place, but still, this is a weird bit of play, Fnatic. They've baited out on A, they've sent players towards C, but it's not working well. It's these drips and drabs that are getting this very, very close for them. 36 to 30 now. Really losing out on a lot of the dominance they had, but you know, it doesn't matter if it's pretty at all for these guys. They just won the victory in the end, and actually Drunks taking the long road around might give them the path back in towards A. They're locking down C as we speak, and those 30 tickets that Epsilon now sit on will get very, very low, very fast. More picking up the first air towards Duke after locking down that C flag. One man from Epsilon splitting out towards A, and I think this is the final moment for Epsilon on this map.
Yeah, with David going down there and the kills all going Fnatic's way, I can't see how Epsilon can do anything here. They're even just rushing to defend their own flags and not going to get the cap. So the bleed is going to push it over, and there you go. Fnatic takes second map.
Yep, Fnatic looking a little bit wary on the start. Didn't have the perfect beginning again, but at the end, they got the job done, and that's all they're here to do. It looks like another day at the office for them right now, but I assure you, when it gets down to those moments, we heard it on the voice comms, it gets a little bit tense for them.
Yeah, it does indeed, and there you go, though. They did what they needed to do, and they came back from a lead for, you know, Epsilon were pushing away at one point, and then all of a sudden, Fnatic just snapped it back, took a lead, and then just threw it away a little at the end there.
Yeah, so, let's see what's going on here. Obviously, just having a little bit of a chat before the third map coming up, because, well, this could be the final one.
Yeah.
It's on Storm. What are we kind of expecting from this now, while Valley puts on some lovely lip gloss? Thanks, cameraman, for showing this. This is going to be a gif.
It's for the fan club, yeah? Is that not lipstick?
That's lip salve.
Oh.
Would you prefer it to be lipstick?
On Valitaja?
Yeah.
It would be fun to watch for about
for about a second.
Yeah, it would be an entertaining thing to see. He's heard us talking about him.
He's like, no, I don't like this. Go away, cameraman. Oh, look, they're even following him. That's just cruelty at its finest. But anyway, we can kind of have a little bit of a talk towards Parasol Storm because, well, this is do or die now for Epsilon, and it's also Fnatic on the verge of walking away with first place.
Yeah, well, Fnatic got their first pick in Dawnbreaker, and they won that one quite decisively. Then it went over to Zaphod, and it was close. It was. And, you know, Fnatic took it away, and now they're playing a map that they're very comfortable on. Well, and that must be worrying.
It must be terrifying. It really must be. But before we get there, I think we need to look back at the last couple of maps, kind of take stock of what we've seen so far to really get ourselves in the right mindset coming into possibly the final map of this entire tournament. So let's get back over towards Jason and Paul, who are waiting at the analysis desk.
Thank you very much. Yes, interesting first two maps. Not quite the slaughterfest that some might have thought it might have been. But
don't look at me.
But still, very, very solid play, dominant play from Fnatic. They look completely in charge. Pansy said in the commentary, just another day at the office for these guys.
Yeah, but they didn't look as strong as they had before. They shown that they're human. They shown that they can bleed, and when something can bleed, you can kill it. I don't remember what movie that's from, but I've heard it before.
Sounds like Rambo.
Could be. And the thing is, they showed that, and that's, I guess, a good sign for Epsilon, because no team has been able to challenge Fnatic like that. And obviously they're going to be in their heads a little bit, but Fnatic being 2-0 up, I mean, they're still going to be feeling really confident. People are still playing really well. They're communicating really well. When you heard them, obviously, within their team speak. I still want to say it's going to be going to Fnatic here, but Epsilon, they have the potential to do it.
Yeah, it was not like they were steamrolled this time around.
Yeah, it wasn't like 90 ticket leads.
No,
you know?
I mean, and especially in that last map, for a while, it looked like they might just sneak Zavod and make this a 1-1 game.
Right,
but
right.
At 2-0, is there really any way back?
Never say never. I'm sure Pansy would like that one if she heard that actually from what happened this last weekend.
Are we trying to fit in as many James Bond films as possible this weekend?
Actually, it was
Never Say Never Again?
It was Justin Bieber.
Okay.
I had the pleasure of hearing her sing that, but it's never over until the Fat Lady sings. Let me just throw another one in there because I can. But it is truly never over. And I mean, Epsilon, they probably come back from things worse than this. You know, obviously without scrims or through scrims, they've beaten them before. They beat them twice, like I said, out of the 3 cups that they played against each other. It's possible. Are they most likely going to do it is another story, but I want to have hopes in them to at least take it to map number 3. We obviously saw, map number 4. We obviously saw Pirate against Meet Your Makers. We had all 5 games, and we had quite a few of them very close. It can happen, but Fnatic, they have to be feeling good.
What do you think Epsilon need to do in terms of stepping it up just one notch? Because it seems like they're not far away. It's almost like they're in 5th gear. But Fnatic are in 6th right now. It's almost like they just need to find that extra gear somewhere. What is it? Is it an individual piece of play? Is it a little bit of brilliance? Is it a little bit of luck? What do you think they need?
I think a little bit of aim and a little bit of better reading into the strategy, I guess. You know, kind of see the information. One thing they did really well in the games prior was gather the information. And with that, they turned it into knowledge and what to do. And I think maybe they did a little bit more. Maybe with the maps coming up, they'll be able to, and kind of use that to work around. I mean, the aim, you have to be able to win these 1v1s, maybe even 1v2 sometimes. And if you're Valo, you can win 1v3s. I mean, you have to be able to pull up those little bit of tricks. It takes a little bit of luck, I agree. But I think they still can do it. I think it's just they have to focus. You know, definitely try to hammer down what's going wrong, fix it this little bit of a break that they do have, and hopefully turn it around.
Yeah, the players are on a little break right now. They've allowed 5 minutes, obviously, in between the second of the 5 maps that they potentially could play, and they could get another one at map 4 if we get that far as well.
Right.
Just a side issue. Player of the tournament for you, who's really stood out? Is there anyone in particular that you could say, yeah, he's been the outstanding player?
There's been a lot of good moments. I mean, if you think about 2Easy and Valu, they've been really stepping up for their team. You know, Wafi stepped up a couple of times over Meet Your Makers, Safe as well. Flax as well in their games earlier on had some ridiculous score lines. I think there's at least one person on each team that you can really count on to be an MVP, but to have one person alone, I mean, maybe if you want to call it this way, if it's a 3-0 Drunks, just for the fact that he's been able to synergize with a team that has been together for such a long time in such a little amount of time that he's had. I guess that could really count. Okay.
Thank you very much. Hopefully we'll catch up with you before the end of the show. And if we don't, thank you very much for all the hard work you put in over the weekend. It's been great having you as one of our commentators yet again on Battlefield. You're becoming a bit of a Battlefield stalwart.
Yeah, but you still outrank me in Battlefield, though.
Really?
Yeah.
Am I still higher than you?
Yeah, you still are.
Really? You
know, I'm working instead of playing.
Really bad. The digs come in now. Thank you very much, Jason. And thank you to our other commentators, of course, who are waiting for us right now back in the commentary booth. I know it's been very warm in there as well all day, and it's heating up nicely here in the grand final as well. Fnatic leading by 2-0 against Epsilon. Let's go back to Lauren and Dogbert.
Thank you so much. And Jason and the words hard work in a sentence. I'm a little bit confused. I'm not sure. And the Drunks comment, I'd say there's been players a little bit not in the spotlight as much as he's been, but who's certainly stepped up. Unfixed, definitely in this game being one of them.
Yeah, definitely. And also, I think we got to say that Red Eye is probably better than Jason at Battlefield. I
don't think Jason's very good at anything. That's the problem. So you've got to give him something.
Yeah, so Drunks has not... he's done well with the team, but he's got the role so he can just go off and do what he wants a lot of the time. Except from in this tournament, he has been reined in quite a bit. He's had a good performance in like online play, but I wouldn't say anything more than that.
See, now I also want to point out a couple of things. So let's look at it this way. Fnatic, for example, adapted to Drunks. They allowed him to be this aggressive player. They allowed him to be like another 2Easy, right? Now, you look at, that means that previously Winghaven was the boring kind of plays the dull roles that can win you games and win you tickets, but it doesn't look pretty. So Fnatic adapted to their players. So it wasn't just Drunks coming in out of the cold and having to suddenly pick up this new role. You look at, let's say, Infamous, who have 2 new players coming through to this. They had to pretty much adapt or die to the team style. So Fnatic were a little bit more, let's say, welcoming to Drunks in the lineup. They adapted, and it's clearly paid off for them. But now, final map, Storm. It's a map that we were discussing on the first days that we got here towards how to play this one. And who do you think's got the edge?
I'm still going to go with Fnatic on this one. I said I think they might get a 3-0, and so far, nothing except from little teething problems at the start has really made me question that. And with building control being key, and from what we've seen so far, Fnatic are so good at getting building control. Epsilon have to come up with something huge here. The pressure is so big for them right now.
Simple as that. One map stands in Fnatic's way. Epsilon have a long road ahead of them if they want to turn this around. The US side will be Fnatic. Epsilon will be on the Chinese side, and let's see where that battle comes down in the very start here. Drunks and Co deciding they want this A flag, getting aggressive. And right now, Epsilon are taking their time and taking the kills. Asterix picking up a couple, Duke doing the same. And they've actually just about held out on A, but there's going to be a 1v1 between Mort and I believe one other over there. C stays safe for Fnatic, and they do eventually get A. Is this the start they wanted?
Kind of. It was sloppier than they want, and they haven't got the building control at all. In fact, they don't have any building control. There was a trade over on the B house, and this leaves over buildings completely in Epsilon's control. Losing out on A is fine, as long as they can keep B and then use the building control to project their power onto the C and A whenever they can.
Let's see if they can do it. C is being pressured there, actually taken over in the end. Too easy, not really being in the best position possible in that one. He got caught out on the fence there, and now Value has to come in to save the day. Gets denied. Epsilon putting up a bit of a fight this time, but we've seen it a couple of times before now. We've seen this not only happening, you know, at the very start. Let's not read too much into it just yet. But right now, it looks like Epsilon want to make this one stick. They have the better positions. They have the better flag set up, kind of, as in the fact that they have two. But at the moment, Fnatic get those backseat spawns that we know can be the reason that most teams want to leave these guys out there as the singular hold. And it's allowing Epsilon not as much room to breathe here.
Yeah, not at all. And, you know, this is a very close game already. And though Epsilon are in the lead, they're about to be Zerg rushed to A, and there you go. Fnatic just overwhelming as the storm comes in as well. And while this happens, you see, it's a back and forth page switch. You're losing out one flag, go to another and try and overwhelm there. Use your numbers because you know you have an advantage there.
Well, David certainly did the job, picking up two. So this isn't looking too bad for Epsilon so far. I think this is the first map that we've seen them really leading the pace. They've done well previously. Let's be serious here. They've not really been leading in how the game actually unfolds. However, this time, they need to start looking towards their options because, as we now know, C is an easy place for these guys on the respawns, on the random spawns, to get back over towards. But now that the fact that Epsilon didn't take A, they could be in trouble here.
Yeah, I wasn't sure what their play was there at all. Epsilon had C. They started peeking at A. They didn't get through. They got killed. And then they didn't even send anyone to C to defend it. And it took them a long time to get back up there.
Well, they really are trying to make this kind of BC hold work for them, and I'm not sold. I'm really not sold here, as it changes hands so fast, and they're just struggling to get over towards A. So BC stays in their hands, 110 to 132. C, no surprise there, being challenged out and caught up by Unfixed in the end, and no one's there from the opponents. And Epsilon now having to get back towards A as well. They're spreading themselves so thin. I feel Fnatic, this is their opportunity to make it start hurting.
Yeah, definitely, but they're getting shut down. That's only pressure on the B house down, and this is what Epsilon want. From B to A, and no one, only their enemy in front, and then they have not as much to be worried about, and they have the building control to boot.
Perfectly done. Let's tune in and see how that's feeling for the guys.
Okay, solo corner, 2 or 3 solo. They become B, blue containers.
Blue
containers. One down.
One more middle, good job.
Down.
Two down.
Nice, they still are on solo, look out. And B side. Go to C,
I
go to C.
Grenade hit on B.
Oh, bad man. Going middle, solo. Spawning near me, near my body, on middle.
One more. Outside C. Towards middle.
Solo.
One middle. 1 HP.
Let's be random.
Is that?
Nice. Good, Horus.
Alright, B flag.
Yeah, coming.
Inside B flag.
That's like.
I got C-spawn. But don't die, Marsu.
Below B house. Below my house. Below jungle house. From behind below jungle house.
Close the houses like this, but that's all. I go
Don't go away, get house control.
So Fnatic building themselves back into this one, but Epsilon, clean calls, clean work, but now only left with C.
Yeah, calling Marsu not to die as he was the last guy left in the building. He did go down, and they still got a foothold on the building, but it's a tenuous one at best. And Epsilon here have had a strong hold for quite a while, but it's starting to slip here, and Fnatic are fighting back.
Oh, they're coming out with a vengeance. I do want to point out right now, I hate to say it, but I'm going to say it, Mort 0-5, yet to get on the scoreboard. He's been put in a position that you might have seen Winning Haven in not too long ago, but Fnatic, this looks like a triple cap's about to come in. If they can defend B here, then this is not looking good at all for Epsilon. We know that Fnatic make these beginnings, these leads start to hurt, but I'm yet to see it really taking effect here. And Value not landing the shot as they crossed over up towards that C site. Oh, nade right towards his feet, just about staying alive here. A being challenged out as well. 1v1s, 2v2s. Fnatic win out towards A just about. They're getting the respawns in. It's just Drunks really holding on. Man, we didn't really think it stepped up. He's doing the damage now. Gets a double kill. Denies the recapture on towards A, and Valu did the damage on towards the flag right in front of you at C. So giving up on B, but look at the tickets. They've even back up so quickly.
Yeah, Epsilon really fumbled that A capture, was just completely unaware of where Fnatic's defenders were, and with that got butchered for it, and now they get B, but they're completely surrounded by Fnatic.
Yeah, it's not a position you can hold on. So let's actually tune in to Fnatic. We've not heard from them this time so far.
Still overlook, guys, reviving. I'm spawning B house.
Junk spotted.
Yeah.
Nice.
Maybe junk house.
Still overlook.
Behind C now. One behind C.
Junk still one, I think. Take care.
Middle, I think. Middle to be easy.
Losing A. One on A. Two on A actually.
I got C.
Nice.
Yeah, middle easy.
I will spawn. Don't die, guys.
I spawn B.
Capping C.
You see it on mid, hard, grenade. Lower overlook. He's dead.
I got C.
One more mid cell. Dead.
Back up B house, maybe. Take care. Stairs.
Maybe junk. Can someone check junk?
Kill him easy.
Too easy being told off for going for the knife. But we are seeing 79-56 now. Fnatic once again carving their way back into the lead here.
Yeah, definitely. Epsilon going to get the C flag though, and they do have B, not the best of, they do have A and C, not the best of holds, but it's doable. But they just got to keep control of these buildings. They have forced Fnatic to the bottom of the map, and sometimes that can be very difficult place to pull yourself out of. It's a very easy place to get spotted out. There is some cover, but sometimes it's not the best cover to be behind. Those nades just fly in, and so far we've seen Fnatic very good with multiple nades.
Yeah, indeed. Valo picking up a good couple of triples so far, but Too Easy has had the foresight to get over towards B to get this cap going. David is actually trying to get back towards B, trying to turn this one over back in their favor. Drunks hunts him down, looking for the kill. Drunks is there first. He gets the kill, and David goes slamming to the ground, and it looks like B might even go Fnatic's way if Epsilon aren't careful. They're sending a lot of men towards this. Too Easy's dodging the bullets. Finally, Drunks does go down though. And we'll be seeing B still being contested over by both sides. Fnatic having the backup right around the back. It's still up in the air. Both players exchanged, I believe, on the point. But it looks like Epsilon is slightly better set up to defend this.
Unfixed, picked up Horik just as the flag was about to be captured. And with that, giving Fnatic a chance to actually get this flag captured. But Epsilon are not giving up on B at all. They're throwing everyone in there.
They definitely are. No body spared at all. 60-46. They've got to do something. They're losing out on C. Horak splitting off by himself, gets spotted out. They know where he is. Two players there, pinstering him in. He can't do this on his own. Surely three players from Fnatic now taking him down to give them the 2-1 hold, if not for a second, as Epsilon must scrabble across towards this A site to get their hands back on it. They have B. They could get A, but once again, not the best setup in the world, but maybe they can make it work this time.
Yeah, they're doing well, but they're not breaking through. This is the closest game we've seen so far in this series between them. And you know, Fnatic trying their best, but they are getting kind of cut up, but they are sneaking through all the time. They might not win in the big 4v4s, but they're always sneaking in and getting flags without anyone responding.
Well, let's find out if that stays the same. And at the moment, let's give you an overview here. Epsilon picking up C. They've already got B. Fnatic walking over with A. But look at this. 2 players down here. Waiting for him to be in position. And possibly making a move towards a singular house. Is keeping the likes of Duke very busy, making sure he keeps tabs on this, but he comes around the corner at the best of times, finding too easy, denying this little bit of a B takeover. Drunks is now trying to dodge those bullets as best as possible, but the tickets are getting low for Fnatic now. This could be Epsilon walking away with an advantage on the half.
They needed something here, and they finally go ahead for the first time in a while. And they do have a BC, but the C flag, as we said, keeps switching over so much. And you can see Fnatic aren't even bothered about the C. They're going to let a random spawn deal with that. And they're just fighting for B, tooth for nail.
At the moment, it's not going perfectly to plan. David's had something to say about the matter. And Epsilon are waking up. 2-1, BC hold still in effect. We're seeing Fnatic amongst the buildings, but not really making much of an impact about it. Too easy comes down, gets caught, gets dropped. The rest of Fnatic focusing towards the other side as Unfix does make his way through, but Marzu, smart read of the play, gets out towards A, and Epsilon, they could turn this one around. 35 tickets in their pocket, but look at this. Smart play from Fnatic as well, but the 1v1 up on towards this flag right here could define a lot of it. Trunks doesn't notice David, and David's surely going to claim this, but again, Fnatic throwing bodies at this. I don't think they've got enough tickets to work with now.
Marzu getting a double kill at A is pretty much secured that flag. Same time, David doing that at C, and this could be a trip cap coming in for Epsilon as they're threatening B as well. Fnatic have got 2 attacks going on, one at C and one at B, and they need both to succeed here.
Well, C's not gone to plan. B barely making it up the foothold, and we are going to be seeing for the first time in this matchup Epsilon maintaining any sort of advantage at the half, and my god, they needed that. Finally getting themselves on that scoreboard.
Yeah, Marzu once again pulling in big, but so is Horik. Horik's done great this tournament. And once again, Unfix, 21 for 12 for Fnatic. He is seriously having a breakout tournament. And should we really be surprised with a player of his caliber?
No, definitely not. It's more like, oh, he's having a good game. Good.
I feel sometimes we talk about some of these players in Fnatic, about like their previous history and how well they've done. And people are just like, you know, you always just say that. Where's the proof? Well, there you go.
Yeah, pretty much. It's hard to deny, but, you know, credit where it's due. Epsilon finally got in the comfort zone. Now, take me through what you think actually worked well for them that time around, because they finally made an impact.
Yeah, I know. And I think a lot of it had to do with Fnatic really never getting their foothold on the buildings.
They
got
were
it for a bit, but they didn't have complete control like they've been able to enjoy in other matchups. And I think really with that, Epsilon were able to kind of jump onto that B quite regularly, and also CNA. But you know what? It was very back and forth. And okay, Epsilon have a lead here, but really only until the end did they take it.
Let's see now if Fnatic, with their backs to the walls, actually come out fighting even harder. It's not a huge ticket deficit against them. It's fairly, it's okay. I think Fnatic won't be too worried about it. If they're going to win, they'll win with some margin. But this is the first time we'll see Epsilon with a bit of confidence. Do you think that could make a difference here?
Well, you could see definitely they were happy with that. But still, this is a long fight, and this is only one round on this map. They've got another 2 if they want to come away from this. So yeah, I mean, every little helps, I guess, and they're going to need as much help as they can get at this point.
Well, this could still be the final half in the final map if Fnatic turn it around. But 33 ticket advantage to Epsilon. Look at it this way: Fnatic, the Chinese side, drop below 33 tickets. They will be moving to another map to try and keep hold of the advantage they currently have. Anyway, let's get into the game right now because it is live and we will be seeing Fnatic over on the Chinese side. The US side being Epsilon. And at the very start, we are seeing a scrappy battle through the buildings. No real surprise there as Asterix does find Drunks and gets a couple of kills in the favor here of Epsilon. So this should be them walking away with a good advantage.
Yeah, first bleed and coming over for Epsilon. And that's more importantly, they denied the capture of B. But it's very wild in the middle right now. But they did shut down the pressure over A. Moore was trying to play a long game there. It didn't work out well for them. But Fnatic have building control.
and this is what we were worried about before. If this happens, they can start building off it, but a couple of kills are coming for Epsilon in the meantime that may kind of even the score up here. But oh, lovely work from Too Easy, getting one, but shut down on the second. But Fnatic have lost out on those buildings, and now they may be in trouble. They're nowhere near close towards A. They're not exactly in a position to defend B. And I kind of want to hear from their point of view how they're doing.
I'm nading there. Down on B. Stay alive. There. B house, a lot of B house. I'm down on B. Take care.
Hey, on the junk house, camping.
Castle for sure.
He's dead. Nice. One more. Yeah, that was him.
One more.
I got no medikit. B house still too. Upper.
He's dead.
Upper B house, guys.
Upper junk, upper B.
I gotta push castle, take care.
Upper junk, B house now.
One more dead.
One B house.
Castle! On the flags now! Help me!
B house there.
We need to clear B house, guys. Clear B house.
I'm getting A.
One more, easy, one more.
Nice. Get B house now.
To that.
Nice, guys.
Nice,
B flag. Maybe going circle.
Spot it, B flag.
We can get it.
He's down, B flag.
Go, I'll cap.
Get B.
Overlook.
They'll get C. They're spawning in overlook.
One lurking. Spot it.
Guys.
He's going
Yeah, I'm going there. I'm gonna kill him. Oh, he's going B house.
One down mid.
One is overlook.
He's low.
Overlook one.
People on him.
Guys, junk is open. Junk is open.
Overlook.
Yeah, go junk someone.
Go junk.
I will push.
Overlook up.
I'm getting shot though. I can't stay alive.
Two guys.
First time we're really hearing Fnatic pumped up. They're really sounding quite into this one, desperately trying to keep hold of this. At the moment, they do have the lead of tickets, so they've kind of negated the first half almost. Is this position Fnatic finally wanted to be in?
Yeah, definitely. More importantly, Epsilon are just really not performing well this round. They are getting cut up in avoidable matchups, and this isn't looking good for them. Has it finally come to that breaking point? They know that they won a round, but they know how close they came, and maybe they won't be able to go any further, but they are getting the A flag, and they do have some building control, even if it's not the best of it.
Well, let's see if they can pull themselves together in the final moments here. Horik finally getting on the scoreboard, probably going to help him boost a little bit of that confidence. They do have the 2-1, so something to work through. They're building back into this after a really good start. They did have a triple cap for a second on Fnatic, but kind of fell away. So Valiant getting the revive in on towards Mort there. So you are seeing Fnatic battling it out and winning it out on towards B. 91-124. I'm not sure if I have full faith right now in Epsilon. They're letting sight slip. They're getting a little bit messy here. And this could be a triple cap for Fnatic coming through. The buildings are going back and forth. Marzu trying to pick up these kills. Asterix as well in there. Finally, Epsilon get themselves a sight, but they're going to be surrounded by Fnatic anytime now.
Yeah, definitely. And it's a bait and switch in a way from Fnatic. You know, they hold on to these buildings for so long. They spawn in non-stop. And then all of a sudden they just say, okay, you can have beans to build. We're just going to fly away and take the other two flags because we know how much you're committing for these and you're not defending.
Well, Asterix playing for the long game there, waiting for the push off of the A site before making his move in. He should be able to pick this one up fairly uncontested. As Too Easy is quite far away. They do have a little bit of a challenge going on towards this side right here, down on towards C. David is still about, though. He's still trying to hold on. He gets taken down from the side. One man does respawn in towards him, but Unfixed is doing such damage with Too Easy. It's not making it light work for these guys, but still, this could be a triple cap coming out for Epsilon, for even if it's just a second.
Yeah, and this is what they need, and they need to extend this as much as possible. Morty goes down, so this is possible, but Epsilon can use this to retrieve their lead. There you go. They've also took Valutage down. It's Too Easy and Unfixed hanging out in the mid flag. Unfixed goes down. Too Easy remaining, and all of a sudden, with Too Easy going down, this is a possible trip cap that's going to be maintained for a while.
This is a turn of events. This is unbelievable. Fnatic are struggling here. They had a brilliant, dominant kind of second bit to the start almost after the initial hit. They started to build, but right now you can see them not really finding their comfort zone. They're not really claiming these sites as well as they were before. 72-91. Fnatic still with a deficit of 33. Very close game at the moment. So let's take a look at whose flags are what. Right now, Fnatic regain control of the 2-1. Ticket bleed is against Epsilon, but it's not the best setup. A and B, actually, no, it is the best setup. I told a lie, which could be a real problem for Epsilon now as they're trying to fight for A. You've seen Duke in amongst it. Fire comes in from both sides. More picking that one up. And it looks like Fnatic are trying to make a stand here. And actually, Epsilon are joining them in the battle. 60-90. And oh, Unfixed and Too Easy just sandwiching these boys in and making it hurt. So this is not a pretty sight, because if Fnatic get back to this position fast enough, Epsilon are going to be running at them at a very bad position.
Yeah, definitely. And Valutarja held them in place for so long. Epsilon really just got themselves stuck in that trench with nowhere else to go. The only entranceway out covered, and yeah, well, you've seen what happened. Complete wipe for Epsilon.
And at the moment, 45 to 89. If Fnatic keep this up, Epsilon may be on the verge of crumbling here. They're watching the money just trickling through their fingers with every ticket that they're losing out on. Marzu falls. David kicks into action towards that B flag, fires up, gets the tag, gets the frag. Unfix goes down. That's a key player eliminated, so could open up a good possibility to pick this one up through, though. But Drunks, the new addition to Fnatic, feels his chances may lay here. He does deny the full cap over, so there is still light at the end of the tunnel. Fnatic making this a quick victory.
Yeah, and there's the respawns with Duke, PT, and Marsu at the bottom here. They don't really have that much time to play with. They need to move quick and fast and get the flag caps when they can and get the bleed to be their friend. And right now, it's only helping Fnatic.
Fnatic regain control, get themselves in the positions they like, battling out a little bit with Horek, but him going down has evened up the kind of battle here. But we are seeing B being swarmed over, but C gets taken in the meantime. Fnatic have their game faces on it. It looks like they've got the game plan set out, but still they could lose out on a lot of that building control. But Too Easy has something about to say. Oh, perfect work from Too Easy. Double kill to try and deny that easy capture of that B and building site, giving time for the backup to arrive. Valu now in the mix, gets the tag, not the frag, gets met by Marzu. And maybe there's a little bit of hope here for Epsilon. Get themselves back on towards A, but 17 tickets. Is it enough, Dog? But
they can do it. They just got to play very smart, channel it in a Dignitas here maybe, and just play for all they're worth. It is just going to be a desperate defensive beat, and they're going to have to be constantly paranoid of being overwhelmed, and that's what it's looking like.
Fnatic are making what could be finally that last move that will give them the game pretty much. Fnatic are taking over on B. They've already got C, and hell, they could take A if they wanted to. The last stand from Epsilon will start now. Two sides being challenged. A getting taken over by Mort. The last man around here will be Horek. He gets dropped, and now B is left with only Fnatic players. Unfix must deal with the moving in of Epsilon if they want this right here, right now. 8 tickets left with Epsilon, 7. And you can imagine Fnatic's eyes are trained on that number of tickets trickling away from them. They know they're on the verge of victory now, Fnatic. They know it's nearly moments away. Mort picking up the first there. 4 tickets left. C being challenged out. Drunk, smart play even at the very end. And hell, they might just get a triple gap if they pull this off. And that would just define everything Fnatic's been about. Every single moment being perfect time and time again. 2 tickets, 1 ticket. It's all that Epsilon can do. They tried everything they could, but Fnatic did it in 3 maps, looking near on untouchable.
Yeah, well, they started to look very human in this matchup compared to the previous ones, and I think maybe it was the pressure getting them to as well. And yeah, very impressive plays and some very smart ones as well.
I think, to me, it's been a day of not only realizing these guys can play perfectly when they have to, but every single player can step up unfixed. What a match from him. I think he saved Fnatic in these finals, quite honestly. They did look human throughout. They looked like maybe a bit more of a demigod team, but it was because of that man's work that you can see pretty much on your screen right now, walking past. And, you know, if he hadn't have done that, if he hadn't turned it around on the first map, Dawnbreaker, you look back and you think, God, the start they had, they were being absolutely destroyed moment by moment until he turned up and turned it around, and that was the building blocks for Fnatic to walk through here. But we said, have Fnatic been challenged yet? I think that was the only first glimpse we really saw of it.
Yeah, first glimpse at this final for sure. And, you know, online maybe they've been having some trouble, but they've been doing so well this cup.
Yeah, and to be fair, Fnatic's route here has been near on perfect the way they've played. I think we found out that they barely dropped half a map on their way here. I don't think they even dropped a half.
No, they've dominated this event completely, and it's it's been very one-sided for them. And I think a lot of
hard work pays off.
Hard work has probably paid off, and I think a lot of teams are just worried about what maps to play against them sometimes, and I think that really sows some doubt in them, and they think they know they'll do well on these maps against Fnatic, and then they play them and they haven't got the puzzle solved at all.
And to me, it makes me look back through the entirety of the season, not just this final. Is were Fnatic always training for these moments towards the offline finals? Was this always their end goal coming into this? Learn the teams inside out as best as possible and then execute everything they could imagine prior, to this moment just now. I almost feel as though they were holding back a lot of the times with a lot of the tactics, because what they've just displayed looks like, the step up now that the other teams now need to aim once again to reach.
What I've seen really in Fnatic's play there isn't thought out plans of how to take down certain teams throughout this tournament, how to react without going over the top. They react perfectly to every situation.
Right.
They always seem to have the initiative, and then when they realize that they have to play defensively, they react without overcommitting. And some teams, they can do that for a while, but eventually it starts to become messy. And I didn't see that in Fnatic's play. They reacted perfectly to almost every situation.
Yeah, I think we saw them being caught out a couple of times. And do you think that just takes really good leadership, or how do you get to that point as a team? Because if it was that easy, a lot of other people would be doing it to that extent. But how do they always have such understanding of where to put the best setups and where to put their resources towards?
Practice, top level practice, and just making sure everyone is aware of what they're going to be doing in game. Making sure there's none of that confusion. When we watch the tabletop, which is something we get to see quite a lot of, you will see moments where teams get confused and look back, start
halfway
moving back,
through,
don't know where they're going. Didn't see that out of Fnatic very often. They knew where they were going the whole time, and that's just because they've got good communication and they know their roles.
I think you summed it up perfectly there with the phrase, they know where they've been going the whole time. And I think where they wanted to be going was pretty much to the grand finals to win that first place prize and really just kind of prove everyone wrong who doubted them last season, who went, well, they've had their issues, they've had their problems, maybe they're not the team that everyone expected after the hiccup of the first time we saw them here. But they've certainly turned a couple of heads this time. So congratulations to Fnatic. I think we need to see them once again, and the other teams obviously over by the stage with Paul and the others.
Thank you very much, and thank you to Lauren, to Jason, and to Dogbert for their continual coverage over the weekend. It's been a long, very warm weekend in the commentary booth, so thank you very much to them. Thank you also to all of the admins that have helped out and come down to the Cologne studio. It's been a terrific weekend for all of them as well. Alongside me is David Sullivan from DICE LA, and also Anna, Head of Communications here at ESL, to present the silver and gold medals, and of course the trophy for the ESL 1 champions. First up though, it's the runners-up. They have proved to be a worthy opponent in the final, putting up a massive fight against Fnatic. They had a terrible day yesterday, but a much better day today after a terrific season as well. The runners-up are Epsilon Gaming. Falling a little bit short, but not too far. Well done. Well played. And after a horrible Saturday, they've had a much better Sunday, but just falling a little bit short. Well done. Well done, sir. Well done, Reaper. So there we go. Second place from Season 2 of ESL 1 in the Spring Championship goes to Epsilon Gaming. It leaves us with our champions to crown the champions and say, at last, as far as they're concerned, that Fnatic have finally got a title in their bag. They were terrific in Season 1, but for some reason, they didn't click on land. This time round, it has been almost flawless. They lost just a single half in all of the games that they played. The champions of ESL 1 Spring are Fnatic. After all the hardship in the first season, this must feel very, very nice for Fnatic as well. We're going to get a word with Drunks in just a moment before we make the final presentation. Drunks, take your stand. Well done. Congratulations. Just a quick word before we present the trophy. How much does this mean to you guys after such a horrible season last season for everyone? There was so much expectation on you. You didn't deliver, but this time round, it's been almost flawless.
Well, we are absolutely happy. It is just awesome. I'm lacking of words for this.
Anything that you want to say to the teams that you vanquished today? Because Epsilon did actually put up a very good fight.
Yeah, they started pretty bad, but then they showed some very good plays in the grand final. So we knew they would step up their games, and they did. But I think we did a bit better. So
it was.
Congratulations, you are the champion. David, if I could ask you to step in and present the trophy. Ladies and gentlemen, the champions of ESL 1 Spring are Fnatic. And that is just about it from the ESL studios here in Cologne. It has been a terrific weekend of Battlefield 4. Thank you to everyone that's tuned in. Thank you to all the people that have come down. Thank you also to David from DICE for joining us. Has been a terrific, brilliant weekend of Battlefield 4. And the good news is, we'll be back for Season 3 very shortly. The champions this season, though, it belongs to Fnatic. Thank you for tuning in. Good night and goodbye.